Mr. Eric, I'm excited to be doing the news again, man. I feel like it's been a couple weeks since we've done this.
Yeah, Saturdays have been busy with events and everything going on.
That is for sure. Well, y'all, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing for September 27th, 2025. Dude, it's crazy. This year is absolutely flying by. Today, we're going to talk Redwood Rally. We're going to talk One Guy's Garage, and we're going to have Jim Hopping and Rich Woodward on the second half of the show to talk about I don't know, drag and drive events, 666 or 6 Michigan miles, Hot Rod Drag Week. We're going to talk about probably 666 in there as well. So, Mr. Eric, hit that intro. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing again for September 27th, 2025. The year is flying by like crazy. I'm your host, Mike Narks. I host this and the Drag Driver Pete show, which happens on Wednesday nights, which is like our long form 2 hour, really dive into a bunch of deep details. But this show this morning is really just a hard hitting updates from around the drag and drive community with some entertainment at the end. So I'm excited to have Jim and Rich on this morning. It's going to be really cool to talk to those guys because generally we don't have guests on the Saturday morning shows because there's just so much going on. But man, last night I just got to thinking, I'm like, let's talk to some folks. Let's see what's going on. So that's who I am, Mr. Eric White, right hand man. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and the news. Everything drag drive repeat related. Primarily photos, artwork, stuff like that. When I'm not doing this, 815 LSX Swaps is my channel with personal builds, and then Motorsports Paparazzi, which is where I've been posting a lot of stuff recently. Again, a little bit of everything over on that channel.
Oh yeah, dude, it's been busy. That thing's been popping off. Well, let's jump into this thing this morning because we started just about a minute and a half late, and I'm blaming that on myself because man, it's been tough for me to get going this morning. Well, guys, listen, we can't do this without y'all. You know how this works. You're our race car friends. Hit the share button as we jump in here. I do want to say thanks to everybody that has been sharing this stuff and making comments the last few shows. Man, it's been really cool to see the growth from that. We really appreciate that a whole bunch. And then thank you so much to our sponsors who help us make all of this possible, the travel, the equipment, all the stuff that goes on, the PRI award shows, all that kind of stuff that happens here at Drag Driver Pete, Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Y'all, I just ask if you're shopping for stuff, hit those guys up first, see if they've got something that you can work with. We would be certainly appreciative of that. And of course, Summit is our title sponsor here at the show and the news and for the Circuit 2025. So we appreciate them being on board around here. Got to hang out with those guys at Hot Rod Drag Week, and it was a blast. I'll tell you, it was really fun. Our PRI booth is much closer to them this year, so I'm sure we'll be hanging out with them at PRI again this year as well. Well, Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They feel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for all of your social stuff. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything and anything. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of SKUs over there at summitracing.com. And while you're over there, pick you up one of them Drag Driver Pete Summit branded shirts, hoodies, and the big brim hats. Dude, big brim hats, again, huge seller at Drag Week. I think they brought 125 or 150 and sold every single one of them by like day 4. It was freaking crazy.
That's awesome.
Oh man, Nazim Sheik, I just saw that there says I just bought a set of Molly Power Pack pistons. Well, we know his car's gonna be faster now. I mean, it's just the way it goes.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about some drag driver Pete updates. There's not just a ton of stuff. I haven't been wrenching on things over here. Y'all know how that works. I've just been working on the computer side of stuff. I am working on Drag and Drive World Champion points updates. Should have those by Wednesday. I really wanted to have it by tonight, but when you guys enter your names, um, sometimes you put a space on the end. Sometimes Bill is William. um it's a pain in my ass, right? Because I physically have to go down each line almost, and there's nearly 2,000 unique racers that have entered a national drag and drive that is eligible for drag and drive world champion points. So that's literally 2,000 lines. And if you didn't know how sorting alphabetically works, William and Bill are on different lines. Well, if your last name is Smith, there's not a Bill Smith in there that did this, but it would be Bill Smith. Every other name between Bill and William, B and W, uh, and then William Smith. So it really become. I mean, it is a ton of manual labor to do that. So I just ask, however you start the year out, when you register for sick week, just if you're Bill, be Bill all year. If you're William, William all year. It will save me so much time. So anyway, so that's coming. We're gonna deep dive on that on Wednesday night because we only have about 3 more events left in the year to collect Dragon Drive World Champion points, and I'm telling you, the race for the top is heating up. There's, Randy Seward has accumulated every single point that he has, and based on my simple math in my head, I think he's still leading, but it's by about this many points. So it's very, very small. But the race for second and third, the race for the 850 championship, the race for the 10-0 championship points, all that kind of stuff is still in play, and there's a lot that goes into making sure that goes correctly, because you can't use more than one eighth mile event um towards your points. It's this whole thing. It's so there's a lot of manual labor that goes in there, and I just haven't had the time to be able to focus on that this week, but it's coming. And then up next, Tim Gorley of Go Fast Photography has started dropping his photos from Hot Rod Drag Week. The Day One Part Two album dropped, I think, last night, or Day One Part Three. Tons of great stuff in there. Man, just go over there, look at all that. He is sharing some of that with us, so that stuff will get posted over on our page eventually, and we'll go from there. Man, it's freaking awesome to see all of his stuff going on. So, what else you got going on, dude?
We talked about it on Wednesday night, but really the biggest thing was getting Dad's car started last week. So now it's just going to be getting it off the jack stands and checking out brakes and finding out if the fuel tank in it is still good. Because right now we're just running it off of a small um, fuel gallon just to get it running. So we need to find out if the fuel tank's good. If that's good, we can wrap that part up and then start working on brakes. And then shortly after that, it should be drivable. So this
That's
weekend,
awesome.
though, is booked. We've got my youngest son is going to homecoming this weekend. So, we've got photos and all that fun stuff today. And then his 17th birthday is on Tuesday. But since family's in town, we're going to have everybody over tomorrow and do a little birthday gathering. So this weekend's going to be pretty booked with family stuff.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got to do that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. We don't have homecoming here for a couple weeks, thank goodness. And that's why I'm not going to Six Smokies is because of homecoming.
Yep.
That's the way it goes. So, hey, them kids are important, man. There's gonna be a point where they're not hanging out with mom and dad anymore.
Yeah. They're only going to have so many homecomings and proms and all that stuff. And once they're done, they're done.
Yep. All right. Well, let's jump into this real quick. So, the circuit update for this week is that I have created a Facebook event. So, I'm going to drop it over in the chat over there. So, I would appreciate if you guys would jump over and select going or interested just to keep up on the dates. We will do registration January 17th. I know that is much later than we typically have done it, but listen, there's so much interest around this event. Obviously, what we do is we limit it to 200, but all of the racers from 2025 that we're on site, and their co-pilots get early entry access. So with that, I figure we're probably going to be somewhere around 130, 150 pre-registered before we open it to the public. So we'll be running some special deals like our sponsors that come on board. Some of those will be getting, tickets to the event and stuff like that. And a lot of times those, they're not going to bring racers, they're going to bring their vendor truck. And so we'll be able to give those spots away. So we're going to do that before registration opens, all that kind of stuff. So this really, if you intend to attend the circuit 2026, you need to get on the event right now and be caught up with all that stuff. I will be doing an expression of interest type form to get people to, kind of a newsletter that we'll be sending out every couple of weeks for updates and as things become available and all that. So April 30th, early tech, 12 to noon, like we did last year. This is going to be a purchasable VIP that goes directly to the youth services of Tulsa. And then pre-party Thursday night, April 30th. For everybody that wants to come into town a little bit early, and then racing May 1st through 3rd. Tulsa Raceway Park, Thunder Valley, and Oklahoma City, and back to Tulsa Raceway Park. So, going to be a fun time, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Got ideas for a racer party for this year? We trying to do go karts again?
Yeah, hell yeah, we're trying to do go karts. Like go karts was a blast, and that's really one reason we moved towards Oklahoma City. There are like 2 or 3 different places that have go karts in that vicinity. So my plan was to call them this week, but y'all, with the throwdown in T-Town coming up, that's really consumed a ton of my time this week trying to get ready for all the promotion that goes around that for Tulsa Raceway Park. So that's my plan for next week is to call those folks and get a go-kart track locked in so we can get it. Yeah. Tom Bagley, I wish you could do the circuit too, buddy. We just need to find you a wife or husband, and you just need to move here. Then you can do all the ones you want. All right. So anyway, so that's the circuit update. I will have more. We really are. We're 8 months from it, 7 months from it. It sounds crazy, but we're really like 3 months from registration. And you know how that goes, dude. It's time to pump it up and get these guys excited to attend.
Dude, I feel like we just wrapped up promotion for 25.
We did, but hey, here's how crazy. It's been 3 months since the circuit 25.
Oh, I know.
It's
I know.
wild, dude. It's wild. Speaking of that, you've been putting out circuit photos. So if you guys haven't gone over to the Circuit Charity with Horsepower page, do that. And then also we have albums on Drag Driver Pete for that as well. I think you're probably posting more to Drag Driver Pete, right?
I'm posting the albums to Drag Drive Repeat and sharing them to the circuit.
Yep. So we can talk about that eventually. Like probably after the 26th event, I will close down the circuit pages and we'll move everything under the Drag Driver Pete banner. And it'll just, I mean, it obviously is a Drag Driver Pete event, but for 10 years that thing's been, or 13 years that thing's been its own life. So I didn't want to just close that up and do all that stuff. So we're keeping it over here. Anyways, circuit updates. Get over there. Event is created. Jump on. It's under Drag Driver Pete. I'm a host of it. Eric's a host of it. The circuit's a host of it. You can find it anywhere. All righty. Driven Racing Oil event update, sir.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you're launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top field drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines. GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for those flat tappet camshafts, while also solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages. GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And DDR10 is your discount that you can use on drivenracingoil.com. You can head over there and pick up any oil or any other one of their products that they offer. And then Driven Racing Oil on Facebook and Instagram is where you can go ahead and see what events they're going to be coming up at. And maybe they'll be at an event near you, and you can head over there and pick up some products on site as well.
That's right. Yeah, Brandon Hayes says, good morning. Jumped on a little late, but very excited for the Circuit 2026. Me too, man. Can't wait. Can't wait to see that bullnose F-150 doing burnouts again. Well, dude, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Did you know Sick Week registration is sold out?
I had heard that, but dang, that just opened up.
Yeah, an hour ago, Derek Putnam said it took 15 seconds, or he said less than 1 minute, and two or three of the posts said 15 seconds.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild. So I posted up congratulating all the folks that are signed up and all that kind of stuff. Let's see what cars are coming, all of that. And I said, jump on the wait list. And people are telling me there's no wait list. So I guess they go to the expression of interest forms to figure out when somebody falls out. So I don't know how they do that, but listen, Sick Week 2026 is going to be crazy. Man,
Yes.
Tom Bagley got in, dude. That's what's up. That's what's up. Sick Week is crazy. It's really crazy if you really think about the. I hate to say hype because I feel like that's an overused term, but the attention around Sick Week really creates a a kickoff to the year. You know,
Hmm.
it really starts the craziest. I don't know, man. It's we need something big in March. Like I feel like we go from Sick Week and then there's nothing until Sick Summer in June. So we do this craziness. We have this, USA Today best event, best motorsports event, all this kind of stuff. And then we have to literally we put people on the back burner for months. Now I know the
Hmm.
circuit is big and we do a ton of stuff around it, but we need a hitter event sometime in March. So
Right.
uh, maybe we just move the circuit south into Texas and do a week long in March for 2027. So I don't know, but we definitely need something. Jeff Russell says the hot rod taxi will be back again this year. Yeah, I saw Speed Mini Brandon Parker saying he's going to be the second quickest 5-cylinder down there. Man, it's going to be nuts. It is going to be nuts. So congratulations everybody that made it in. Listen, I'll tell you this: if you're gonna go, just get your shit ready, right? Like they don't take anybody day of. I know that, but sign up for the sick spit, sign up for the sick ward, go down, prove your cars there. Because I'm sure that if you showed up, did the event, drove all that kind of way, did all that kind of stuff, you're gonna get some kind of special treatment the next year,
Oh yeah, of course.
Yep.
An event in the Southwest in March would be nice.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Somewhere in like Arizona or something like that, where it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Um,
Chad
yeah, Chad
Reynolds
Reynolds
event
event.
supposed to
Yep,
be in
that was
February.
what's the name of that one? It's the ah, I don't know. It's in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Cajun something. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, nice. Jim says he was already in, but his son made it in today. Oh man. This is a tough one. What do you guys prefer? Hot Rod Drag Week or Sick Week? Truly, they're to me they're on the same kind of playing field. There's so much history within Drag Week that really kind of gets me excited. The 850 stuff was incredible this year. Um, the records to set. I think if you set a record at Drag Week, you're really doing something because there's so much history within that event, and so many people have done that event before. And then Sick Week, I mean, let's be honest. If you're fast, you're going there because one, guys like we can race generally here in the I'm going to say in Arkansas, Tulsa, Texas stuff. We can race here pretty much all year. There's only a month or two to where Tulsa Raceway Park is shut down. Like there used to be a race December 6th at Tulsa. Now we've backed that up to Thanksgiving weekend, and then it closes till the end of February, early March. So we're really not closed very long. And if we did, we could drive 5 hours to Dallas and race because they're going to be open down there.
Yeah.
But guys like you don't have that opportunity. I mean, you're done racing middle October, maybe early November, maybe.
Up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, up here it's yeah. If we're lucky, we'll get a good day in late October, November. But otherwise, yeah, there's not many weekends that it's open.
Yeah. And then, typically open back up around
Anywhere
April,
from
May.
March, April, May, depending on the weather. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you start figuring that's like 5 or 6 months out of the year that you guys aren't open. That's tough. So,
Yeah,
for those guys that live in that kinda climate, we see a ton of them coming down to sick week because of that. So, ice, drag, and drive. That's exactly right. Bad Tree Productions in here. I hadn't seen those guys in a minute, man. We need to touch base with those guys. We'll get to talking to them shortly here. Ice Dragon Drive. Yeah, I'm in. And then I see Rich Guido, snow tires and mud flaps engaged. He'll be going down. So that'll be awesome. So again, congratulations to everybody that made it in for sick week. If you didn't, don't complain. Just get on, fill out your expression of interest, expect a call. If you don't get the call, hey, sign up for sick ward or sick spit, and then go in and do that and make the trip, have fun. This isn't about necessarily racing all the time. It's more about the trip and the drive and all that kind of stuff. So,
right.
but the event
Uh,
that's happening right now, Redwood Rally, bro,
yep.
on.
Yep. They're on their way back to Medford Drag Strip right now.
Yep, yep. If they're Oh yeah, it's 7:30 in the morning there. They're probably getting There's some folks that are already on site.
Yep.
The track opens at 8 and then racing starts at 9. So should be running here pretty soon. We're going to talk about them, who's leading classes and all that kind of stuff in just a minute. Uh, one close to you, man, it had to fall on a bad weekend, of course.
I know. That's what I said too.
Yep.
So
But
this is going on at Byron Racing today, and then Tri-State tomorrow. So they started at Tri-State, dropped trailers off there, then drove to Byron, did Byron, and then back to Tri-State tomorrow. So kind of a interesting setup there.
Yep, we'll have to talk to Nathan and see how they did the loop, or like what they drove around and did for the route between Byron and Byron. But
Hmm.
today they're also racing. Well, we'll talk about it all in a minute. Um, Plates and 28s is going on right now. They start driving at 11. So if you're anywhere near Edgewater Sports Park, jump over there, sign up for the Plates and 28s. There's a 6-day cruise, which is like 100 miles or 150 miles, something like that. And then they'll go into some heads up racing. So similar to the King of the Open Road setup, where they do the drive, then do heads up racing, which makes sense if you're going to go heads up elimination style, because you wouldn't want to go heads up and then drive and then come back and do all your changeover and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
so I get it. I get it. I want it to be hard. I don't have to do it. So, um, next 3 events, man, run us through these.
Yep. So we've got Six Smokies coming up October 12th through 19th, starting out at Rocket City Dragway. So this one's going to be pretty exciting. I'm really interested to see all the gassers that are going to be
Mm,
there.
man, it's going to be overwhelming. I really, why can't my kid have had her homecoming, or homecoming this weekend instead of the 11th? So, anyways, I won't be going to that one. I'm super bummed.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of photos coming out of it. That'll be
Oh,
awesome to see though.
it's going to be crazy.
And then after that, we've got Buckeye Skips October 16th through 18th, and that's at Coonley Motorsports Park.
Yeah, this is going to be a cool one, man. I'm excited to see this one, see those guys run through all of that fun stuff that they do,
Yeah,
and then
I think they said they had like 130 cars for their
mhm,
first time, so that's going to be exciting.
yeah, they have a ton of attention around this one. It's going to be good. They've done a great job promoting. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then to end out October, we've got the Wild West Dragon Dash October 23rd through 26th, and that's at Concho Valley Dragway.
Hmm. Yeah, this one's going to be a good one. This is Portia and her husband. They've been longtime drag and drive racers, so now it's time for them to step off and do this one. And I know they probably got to be getting nervous because they're a month out, and now it's time to really turn on the screws and start focusing on getting spectators in the stands. And these tracks have never seen drag and drive event before, so as far as I know, anyways. So this should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then 666 back for 2026. We know they did Springfield to the coast in 2024. Man, I have so much speculation. I said this the other night. We were at dinner with Luke and trying to get him to talk about some stuff, and he wouldn't do it. I can't wait to see the details that come out about this. I'm
Yeah, me
hoping they
too.
do like Chicago to Springfield or Springfield to Chicago or something like that, because that time of year I think is going to be huge for Route 66. Of course, the 100th anniversary is next year, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the state of Oklahoma road department or Department of Transportation is talking like 3 or 4 times the amount of people will be traveling during the summer and uh, across the Oklahoma portion of Route 66. So I can only imagine what the rest of it's going to be like. And by the time 666 happens in September, this could be pretty. It could be pretty intense.
Yeah.
So bring it on, man. I we'll see. I don't know. We hopefully it says details coming soon, but that's not soon enough.
Right.
You know how to like this is literally a year from now, and we want dates and route stops and where we're going to race and all that kind of stuff already.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, that's the way it goes. All right, sir. Well, man, thanks again to Driven for all the help. You guys know you can go drivenracingoil.com to see where they're going to be. You can find them on Facebook. Probably the best way to follow for the events that they're at and stuff like that. I think they're out somewhere this weekend, and I'm sure they're going to be at Six Smokies because it's so close to the house.
Hmm.
So, all right. Well, Deech Works, man, if you guys don't know, lots and lots of fuel system stuff here. Let me get down to it. Deech Works is the leading manufacturer of high performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pumps, pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 2200 horsepower. You guys can find Deechworks at deechworks.com. You're going to have to take a screenshot on how to spell that, but, or just type in DEATCTSCH and it'll generally bring it up over there on all your social media platforms. Jump in there. DDR10 is a discount code for our Drag Drive Repeat fans over there for when you're purchasing stuff. So appreciate them. And then the AFCO racing segment. This is where we're going to talk about some Redwood Rally. So racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling, brakes, and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers for racers. Check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO AFCO Racing, built to win. All right, Redwood Rally stuff, dude, because this bro. I'm telling you right now, this is I will forego Hot Rod Drag Week to do Redwood Rally in 2026.
Okay.
This event looks incredible. Look at that shot from 3G video,
Oh yeah. Mountain in
dude.
the background and
Ah, man, just that is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if I'll fly out or drive out, but I'm going. Um, just great shots. Big shout out to 3G Video and NMR Video or NMR Media for the photos in use today. We appreciate them doing all that stuff. So let's run through who is currently leading classes, and then we'll do a recap on Wednesday night of who won and all that kind of stuff.
okay.
Kick us off,
Uh,
sir.
all right. The three pedal class actually had 27 entries this year. So pretty awesome there. Right now, first place is Nate Curran with a total ET of 29.321.
Yeah, I think on the ones with the total ET, they are using quarter mile and eighth mile stuff. So most of the other stuff is just eighth mile. So I tried to make notes of that as do these here. But American Graffiti Hard Tire is an eighth mile class, 26 entries. I'm telling you, hard tire racing it makes it easier for drag and drive folks, new folks that are coming in. Joe Bloomberg is winning that class or leading that class with a 6.871 average on a hard tire, bro.
Yeah. Then we've got the American Graffiti Magnum, which is also an eighth mile. That's first place is Jake Karanda with a 5.576 average. But second place is Ray Lashley with a 5.721. And then third place is Chris Schmidl with a 5.864. So very tight racing right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then American Graffiti naturally aspirated race tire, which I would assume is like a slicker radial. Another eighth mile class. First place is Daniel Field with a 6.252, and then second place John Ziegler with a 6.265.
Oh, man. Real close there.
Mm-hmm.
American Graffiti Power Adders, 28 entries there. First place is Jeremy Sears, 5.370. And second place, Lane Kavar with a 5.386. So again, some pretty tight racing.
Yeah, what's that? 18,000, 1,800. I mean, that's a close spread. Glory Days gas, blah, 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 bro. Glory Days gassers. Holy shit! First place right now, Walt Hooker with a total ET of 32,494.
And then Junior Street, Molly Alsop with a 0.069 spread.
And she's the one that won the Junior Street at Mega Week as well.
Mm,
The heads up shootout thing. Mind
yeah.
over matter, 83 entries. Dude, this is like their DYO style class. Man, 83 cars, crazy. First place currently Chris Molnari with a 023 spread. Second place 031 spread with Ray Dominic. And then Erica Young in third place with an 032, 1,000th of a second for the spread there in the mind over matter for second place.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Redwood Radials, our boy Donovan Linwood leading that class right now, 5.26 average with a best pass of 5.047. So he's out there killing it.
Man, I hope that track is there for him today. He wants a 4 so bad. Remember you saying it was like a 501,
Mm-hmm.
500 several times, all that stuff. So good luck to Donovan today. Slightly limited class. It's in first place is Stephen Volpe with a 5,357 average.
And then tailgate racers, 27 entries in the tailgate class. So
Dude,
pretty
that's
good
awesome.
there. First place, Sean McKinney with a 5.405 average. Second place, a 5.669 average of Ryan. What is that? Oh,
Resinkin.
Resinkin.
Resinkin? I don't.
Yeah. Well, Ryan's in second with a 5.669. And then third place, 5.770 average. Again, 5.669 for second, 5.770 for third. Aaron Free.
Man, that's crazy. That's going to be awesome to watch today. I hope they have some kind of, live. They have a live real time app, like timing app, or input, but you've got to be watching that so tightly. So it's going to be interesting to see that. And then the unlimited class, Ryan Psyche, 5,222 average on that one so far. Going into again the final day of Redwood Rally, man, I can't wait. I should have went this year, but dude, you
Yeah.
can't miss drag week.
Yeah, not when it's the 20th running or 20th anniversary.
Yeah. So good luck to all those racers. I hope they all made it back. If you guys jump on redwoodrallye.com, you can actually see the live timing results right there, real time results. Sorry, that's the phrase they're using. The man, it's really you have to be careful. So if you go down and look, it's calculating averages on whatever the people have turned in. So you have to physically open each row to see. So you may see somebody in first place, but they may have only turned in 2 slips and now they're DNF. So you got to be careful. So when you're watching that, man, I highly recommend the real time results. It's super cool. We got to figure out a way to do that with the circuit. But when it's a DNF and they didn't make a pass on day 3, you got to figure out how to shut those out, because there was a couple that almost put in there that they had not gone all week. So,
Mm.
anyways, Redwood Rally, this is on my list for 2026. Get ready. Get ready. If you have questions about suspension stuff, hit us up. We'll get you in touch with Eric Saffel at AFCO Racing Products and suspension radiators. My brother's been talking to Eric quite a bit about the radiator in the new car, because 700 plus horsepower in a car that has engine compartments about this big around is kind of important. You've got to have the right kind of cooling. So they're working through, what is an off the shelf piece, what is something that's custom that they need, all that kind of stuff. So, I think if we paired up good cooling radiator and fan type stuff from AFCO and then your trim rings with some of these cars, bro, people have no problem.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move on to some car change 3D stuff so we can talk about one guy's garage. And then we'll bring in our guests after that. So we're probably going to be a little over for the show this morning. So you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome for my ramblings. I'll let you do the AFCO or the car change read there.
All
Sorry.
right. Card Chains 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift that they can't get anywhere else. Well, Corey can produce a one off keychain for that special person's special car. So find more at cardchains3d.com or on social by searching Cardchains3D on Facebook or Instagram. And
Yep.
Corey's got all kinds of products, not
Yep.
just keychains. He's got,
I thought about
Fox
that as you
body
were saying it.
parts and everything.
Yeah, center consoles for Fox bodies, Hall Tech, Holly, FI Tech, Aces, all kinds of mounts for those controllers and stuff like that. One Guy's Garage Drag Weekend, dude. I figured we would show a few of these photos in here. One Guy's Garage is similar to a lot of the other events. We don't have real-time posted results. We'll get those after the event, which I think, hey, it takes all kinds of different stuff. We have Redwood Rally with real-time results. We have One Guy's Garage that gets results afterwards. Like nothing, there's no right answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, like you said earlier, they made the drive from Tri-State to Byron yesterday, raced at Byron last night, and then they're racing at Byron again today, but they're going to be racing with the MKE Takeover River Redemption Race
Mm-hmm.
and the Central Illinois Small Tire Shootout and Stroll, which is like a True Street kind of class 20-mile drive. So it's going to be kind of crazy. And see who's there? Who's that there in that big 7,000-pound wagon?
Oh man, that Sheila's dream, the
Right?
Price family.
Yeah, isn't that awesome that they would come all the way out there and do that, man? I love it. I wish that I was up in your area today because I'd try and sneak over there. But man, why do you have to live 9 hours from me?
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty exciting. So I figured I would grab a couple of shots again. Nathan Shaw is the promoter of this event and has been, dude. This is the third longest running drag and drive out there. This event started in 2015 after Nathan attended 2014's Hot Rod Drag Week. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it's only about 75 cars, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, it's what they limit it to, and he said he didn't want to do it. He didn't want any more people.
Yep.
Wants to run it, keep it small. And what's really cool is some of the guys that race in this have done it since the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan skipped a year, and we hosted these guys at the circuit, and it was crazy. The amount of times that those people had come down and or had raced this event is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So again, a nice small grouping of people. 75 cars isn't small, I guess. That's a pretty good group of cars.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're trying to run with MKE and the Central Illinois group, like it's
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of cool cars. If you're a spectator, tonight would be a really good day to be at Byron, and you're going to see a lot of different cars and a lot of racing.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Well, again, thanks to Corey. We appreciate all the support from Car Change 3D. It says here from hobby to big business. I mean, he's truly growing. He's got people working for him. He's got, man, 40 machines or something crazy. If you guys haven't seen the video, jump over on the Drag Driver Pete page and you can see my tour of his shop and interview with him and all that kind of stuff. So, love Corey and all the stuff they're doing up there. And if you have an idea, I mean, truly, he can take your idea to reality. Whatever, if you have some weird, goofy car and you need a dash and you're trying to put a Holly 12.3 in a 70 Nova, he's got you handled, man. He can do that. If you're trying to put a Holly or FI Tech or Aces or anything anywhere, he can get you taken care of. All right. Let's thank our race car friends there, sir. And started at Moore, Alabama to Fountain, Florida to Albany, finish up in Valdosta. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody that has been on here this morning, making comments, watching the show. You guys are our race car friends, and we can't do this without you guys. And good luck to all of our race car friends who are racing this weekend. And of course, we can't do this without our sponsors: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Again, if you guys are doing some shopping, make sure you check these guys out and see if they've got something that can help you out.
Yes, for sure. All right, and then let's move into Molly, and then we're going to bring in our guest for this morning.
All right. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and racers. Meet the Mali Motorsports Power Pack Piston Kit, your ultimate solution for Power Pack performance. The Power Pack pistons are either made from a 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or a 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. So, what sets Mali apart? It's their forged pistons, graphol coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Mali Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit MaliMotorsports.com for more details. And to all of our podcast listeners, Mali is spelled Mahle.
Oh, for sure. Well, let's pull this down, and then let's add Mr. Rich Woodward in here first, and bring in Mr. Jim Hopping at the same time. Hang on, guys. I want to see if we can get all four of us on the screen at the same time. Nope, it won't do it for me. The way I wanted it to. It will, but we're going to put you guys up top so people can see y'all's name. Let's start with Jim, I guess, here above me. Jim, introduce yourself. Tell everybody where you're from, and then the name of the shop.
Morning, Jim Hopping. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm kind of stuck in a Connex temporary shop, uh, in eastern Oklahoma, little town called Muldrow. Got a 85 volts Cutlass, a NA big block in it. And you two guys are probably responsible for me being so eat up with drag and drive the last couple of years. And if I can get your address so I can send the credit card bills, that'd be great.
Yeah, bring it on. What's the name of the shop? Because you do transmission rebuilds and all that kind of cool stuff.
Professionally, I'm a fabricator in an off-road shop. I just do transmissions at home. Don't officially have a name or anything along those lines. I stay super hooked up doing that for sure. That's all behind me right now.
That's awesome, man. And actually, I met you through a guy named Wes Evans, who I met through the Narcs cart because he wants me to do some gambling, some Gambler 500 stuff, and then you and I have become friends, and now we got to get Wes into Drag and Drive.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him to race cars for years. But, he's pretty wound up with livestock and his kids showing. That stuff keeps him going nonstop. What, like I do, he never sleeps. One of these days, maybe we can get him in a race car.
Yeah, see, with him never sleeping, that would make him a perfect drag and drive racer.
yeah, probably so.
Well, over here above Eric is Mr. Rich Woodward. Dude, what's up, man? Tell us what's going on. You look fresh this morning.
I am looking fresh. Just got from the barber. We are just hanging out in the garage today, tinkering, trying to get this thing fixed. It was a rough outing, as we all saw, for me this year. It's not been a good year, so we're tinkering, we're playing, we're trying to figure out a game plan to get this thing up and going again.
Well, hey, that's the way it goes when you race very fast cars.
Yeah. I was excited to be in A class this year. Knowing Super Street's a pretty weird class where a lot of 850 cars end up in because wings and bumpers and stuff like that. So I went in very optimistic and was quickly knocked into the dirt day one. So
that's the way it goes, man. It's you've had a pretty hard run in that car, and we wish you all kinds of good luck moving forward.
Appreciate it.
Well, I want to take this first segment a little bit and kind of just tell some stories from the last event that you went to, right? Because Rich was on Drag Week with us. Jim did Sick Michigan Miles. So a couple stories from those events because you guys have been out living the dream. So we'll start with Jim first.
Yeah, just about a month back, I guess. Now I came from Michigan Miles. I like doing Tom's 8th mile stuff. My car is not fast, but it's also not really got the equipment to run quarter mile and feel safe. But pretty neat deal for me. My dad lives just south of Detroit. They started Michigan Miles at Milan this year, or Durana Dragway now. And my dad sold his last race car when my mom was pregnant with me. And
Wow.
he hadn't been on a drag strip, he told me, since he hadn't been to a drag strip, even just to spectate, since about 89 or 90.
Oh,
So, man, it was wild for me to be able to take him and show him how race cars and street cars had progressed. You know, he had no idea that there were going to be, 2,000, 2,500 horse cars doing this 1,000-mile loop in Michigan, and he was nothing but smiles all week. You know, there was a he and my mom separated when I was pretty young, and there was quite a span there where we didn't see each other, so we got to do a lot of catching up. And he had a great time. I had a great time also. You know, we did 666 last fall, and I went into that a little wrong. I wanted to try to be faster every day, and it took a little bit of the enjoyment out of it for myself and my co-driver Aaron. So we decided to go do Michigan, and I wasn't going to worry about it. Just going to keep the car together and have a good time, see the sights, hang out with my dad.
that's cool, man.
So from my house, did the route and back was 3,711 miles.
Dude, you're an animal.
Hey, I don't believe in trailers. I've got one, but that thing, my son's the only person who really uses that thing.
So wait, hang on. You drove your car from Oklahoma to Milan to start, and then what did your dad think about the ride in your car? Because, like, listen, they're all big talk until about 700 miles in. Then they're like, "This is crazy."
I left Saturday morning about 6:30 a.m. here from Oklahoma. Drove one shot at it, myself. Drove all the way to his place. Didn't have any car problems. Had some trailer trouble. It broke two leaf springs on a trailer, and I broke it 3 times somehow or another. But I rolled into his place pretty late. It was about 2 a.m. And we got up the next morning, and I said, you're about to do 1,000 miles in this thing. I don't, are you going to be able to handle this or not? He's not, he's still in great shape, but he's definitely older. And he said, well, I don't know, but yeah, let's go. And so I got him in the car, and we went and got fuel and got breakfast, and just cruised around. Went to one of his buddies' places and tried to fix the trailer, and that was a disaster. And ended up doing wicked trailer burnouts in front of his buddy's farm shop, and then like everywhere between there and back to his house, we're about to trailer burnouts now. So he he had a he handled it like a champ, man. I don't know if he was putting on a show or if he just he was in, but it was a really good time being able to take my dad and experience some stuff. You always want to bring somebody new to a drag and drive. Seeing their reaction to some of the stuff that goes on and some of the stuff that shows up. I'm by no means fast, but we still had a great time, and he helped. He wanted to help so bad, and there's nothing to do on my car. It's a street car. He's like, "What do we need to do?" I'm like, you don't need to do anything, Dad. Get in the chair and hang out. So
He's like, "Put plugs in it or something." Come on, man.
The third day we were at the hotel on Lake Superior, I think, in the Upper Peninsula, and he's like, "Do we need to do anything?" I said, "Let's put plugs in it." And I didn't need to put plugs in it, but we were both kind of bored at that point, so we did. But
That's pretty cool. That's man, that's awesome. I'm jealous of you for sure. That's a fun trip. I hope one day my kids take me on one.
hey,
That would be awesome.
my son involved too. Maybe we can split some of the bills.
That's awesome. Rich, man, give us a story or two from Drag Week. Oh, can you hear us? Rich, can you hear us now? I don't know if he's got us. I don't think he's got us. All right. Did he take his earbuds out?
He did, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, let's stay with Jim until Rich can hear us again there. So let's talk about give us something from the circuit, dude. Why does this road always blow yellow tire smoke?
Man, I have no idea. It's the weirdest thing ever. People are showing me the pictures and videos. I'm like, I mean, those ET streets, they're or that was on my street tires actually. I thought, well, maybe it's
Yeah.
those Chinese tires I put on there, but apparently everybody was doing yellow smoke.
Right? It's pretty wild because like this is in Michigan. This is at the circuit, and that road always does. It always looks so cool, and it always draws a ton of conversation when we post up videos and stuff like this. But, dude, you had a great circuit. Had a ton of fun. We can't wait, man. It's gonna be a blast.
That's probably my favorite event to hit every year. You know,
Thanks, man.
that was the first drag and drive that I actually did. I've been following it for years. You know, every time drag week would come near Tulsa, you know, I'm going to go watch. But I was part of that group. You know, of your friends that say, "Well, one day, one day I'll do it." And I think it was the circuit 20, either 21 or 22, where Red Hat Scotty and you guys were going to do that ramen noodle challenge, and I thought I can do that, and I got way over my head in a car that was going to be way over budget, and just anyway, I kind of gave up on that deal, and I don't know if it was you, Mike, or somebody said, hey, you've got a big block Cutlass. Why are you not taking that? And like, because that thing's never been more than 10 miles from the house, and
Yeah.
kind of. I don't know if I got bullied into coming or what the deal was, but whoever put the pressure on me, I'm sure glad they did, because this is what I'm about now, man. I've been in off-road and rock crawlers for the last 15, 20 years because, well, I got out of race cars because rock crawlers seem like they'd be cheaper. They're not.
No way. No way,
But,
dude. You got 2 axles, 2 drive shafts, transfer cases, all that kind of stuff.
well, you think you can do it with junk parts, and then that escalates real quick. I still got the rock crawler, but it's been kind of retired to tractor duty around the house now, and I'm just eat up with drag and drive. We're doing 6 Smokies. Of course, I'm 100% in on the circuit this coming year,
Oh yeah.
and we'll try and do Michigan and Smokies again next year if I can get in on that deal.
Yeah.
Here's a good one for you. My 2-door Cutlass, and I've got a 6-point in it cage, and Aaron Fleetwood's always been my co-dog. Keeps me in check. Keeps us going. And so he's going to go on that one. Well, my wife has been wanting to see that part of the country for forever. We've tried to plan some vacations out there, just never worked out. And she said, I'm going. I said, well, you're going to have to call Aaron and kick him out because I'm not doing it. She said, no, I'll ride in the back seat. I opened the door to that car and I said, you're going to crawl through that 6 to 8 times a day, And she said, yeah, so get in and out of it 5 times right now. And, if you're in, let's do it. So we're going to ride 3 deep in that 2-door car on 6 Smokies, and hopefully have a blast there too.
That's going to be awesome, dude. And she'll be way to cuddle with than Aaron is.
That's yeah, probably. Aaron's got a good credit card though, so I got to keep him. Just
yeah, right. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Wow, that's going to be really cool to be able to do that and kind of share that experience with her.
Yeah, hey, my wife is a rock star. I wouldn't trade her for anything. She puts up with all these shenanigans. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, same way. Mike, I know. I've talked to your wife multiple times. She's awesome. They put up with
not one of these with me though. She's like, nope.
She's
like
not.
We rented an RV, maybe.
Yeah, my wife's been doing the gambler stuff with us for years, and she's about it. Let's go. Let's do something. Let's do parking lot beers.
That's awesome. Rich, we got you back, buddy. Can you hear us, Rich?
Seems like he can hear Jim, I don't know if you can hear us.
Can you hear me, Rich?
I can. I got a phone call and it screwed everything up, and now I'm in and out apparently.
Yeah. So tell him.
Is my
tell him-
audio still coming through?
The audio is good.
Mike and Eric can hear you, but I guess you can't hear them.
I'm good. It's coming in and out all of a sudden. It was fine for the first 45 minutes, and then, like usual, a phone call came through. So
Tell him to drop out and come back in.
mess something all up for me.
Mike said drop out and come back in. Turn it off, turn it on again.
If I knew how to work this, I probably would do it right now.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, man,
Let me see if I can do something here. See if I can get better service going.
Yeah, it's probably
That any better?
It's probably in the way that Mike.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Yeah. So yeah,
I can still hear you.
Yeah, tell him I'm going to boot him.
I can't hear nothing.
And he'll just hit the link back in. Oh, he did it himself. I'll send him a message now. Okay. Well, let's keep rocking here. I'll send him a message while Eric, you lead us on. What's next?
All right, you want me to jump in? We'll play the Howard's Cam video real quick.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, we'll do that. We'll play the Howard's Cam video, and then we'll jump into our next segment here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend, Luke B, for your next valve train upgrade.
Tell him to hit the link again. There we go. Okay, he's back.
All right. Move garages closer to the Wi-Fi router. See if that works.
The phone calls. StreamYard hates phone calls.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you're gonna get them if you're on your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
tried to put it on airplane mode, but I didn't. It kicked me off the Wi-Fi, and then I tried my iPad, and it was a fiasco.
Hey, that's the way it goes. Well, I want a couple stories from Drag Week, dude, because fun stuff, parking lot beers.
Everything was great on Drag Week, minus the racing for me. It was a thrash just to get to Drag Week. I mean, as you saw, 3 weeks before, I torched the motor, had the block out, and thank God for the machine shop that helped me. I mean, they turned it around the block in 48 hours, and we had the car back running in 7 days, which is probably what led to my horrible performance. But I mean, we left for Maryland, which is only 6 hours from me, so it was a treat this year. Sunday, we're like, we got to test. We've only had 5 passes on this car all year, and it showed great promise. It went 820s at 177 in the first time out with it. So I'm like, it's gonna be a rocket ship. And then Sunday, first pass, they kind of rushed us through the lanes. Steering wheel comes off after I let go of the button. Ooh. And I did grab the column like we talked about before I got the GoPro video. I did grab the column before I shoved the steering wheel back on. I didn't even remember it. And then we fought boost issues all day. The car was going like 1030 at 130 on 3 pounds of boost. Figured out it was a safety. All right, turn that off because the turbos are so big now that we have to whack this thing with a ton of dome pressure on the hit just to get them to get energy into them. And that was when the first time I had the RPM sync was Sunday. And we're like, okay, well, now we've never had this in the 10 years the car's been together. Mm-hmm. So, Monday, I was excited. We changed cam sensors. We changed this, tuning, blah, 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 blah. I think we got it all figured out Monday. Obviously, with so many racers now, it's a one and done type of deal, unless you want to be there till 5 o'clock at night, which we don't want to do ever. But, I let go of the button and that thing I looked down, the thing backfired. I looked down, it just says sync across my dash. And I knew right at that instant that my racing week was over. I'm going to turn in a 12-second, 15-second time slip, and there's no coming back from that. It's just impossible. So that rest of the week was just survive the week, make my limp down the track, try to fix it every night in the hotel, but enjoy the parking lot beers and hanging out with friends and the restaurants. And, we all try to get together, tacos and margaritas and all the good stuff. But,
I'm hanging out with you guys next time.
Oh yeah, we're a fun bunch with Mark and Ed and the wife and the friends and everything. I mean, I got to show you a picture of this pineapple thing I got at this Mexican restaurant. It was a half a pineapple just loaded with food. It was amazing.
I'm in.
But and a month before, we put a new converter in the car too, because the old one, they missed the spec on it. So I literally just ordered a PTC because I didn't have any time to wait for them to restall it and hope it works. The car's never had a problem on the street. Day one, we get up on the highway, my transmission temp goes through the roof. I'm cruising like 230 degrees. And I'm like, oh man, it's just riding the converter the whole time. Everything's new. The trailer's new. Everything's new. And it's like, now we're working out the bugs when I've never had a problem with transcooling. The thing used to run 160. So I found out on the highway that if I ran 80 miles an hour, it would drop 30 degrees trans temp because it would be off the converter, it'd be coupled up, and it'd be good. Everyone I'm driving with does 65. So I would fly 80 miles an hour for 10, 15 minutes, let the trans drop, and then I'd fall back to get back with them because I wasn't the navigator. My co-pilot's not a navigator. So we did that the entire first day, and I think I saw 250 for a while, trans temp.
Jim is like, oh God.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just happy it wasn't 100 degrees. Like if it was 100 degrees out, there's no way I would have made that first drive in one. It would have been sit for a half an hour, put fans on it, let it cool, try it again. We got all the way to the hotel, and I pull the dipstick, and I'm like, okay, it's red. Doesn't smell bad. I'm like, maybe I don't have to change the trans fluid. We drained the catch can because we smelt fluid at one point when it hit 250. It must have pushed fluid. I drained that catch can. You could smell it through the hotel the whole parking lot of the hotel. I was like, yep, that's done. We had to drain everything that night, clean everything, but we were still fighting the cam sync issues. Well, what we thought was cam sync. So there was the hotel we stayed at was behind a gas station that had a burger place inside of it. And we found out if you mixed coconut and pineapple Bacardi shooters, you didn't need to add anything. You just have that as a cocktail.
Nice.
Yeah. So they sold like 8 packs of the shooters. So we're sitting there just drinking those all night while I'm still trying to figure out why there's an RPM sync. I'm like, I don't know if these two things are going to go together correctly. Obviously, we didn't figure it out, but we got the trans fluid changed, so that's all that mattered at that point.
Interesting. So what? How did you just limp it all week? Because I can't imagine the mountains and how bad that thing was just boiling.
After day one, it wasn't as bad. I was seeing 220s, 230s. I would leave that thing down a gear. I'd kick. It's a 400, so I would leave it in second going up the hill, and it would keep the RPMs 3,500, and that would keep it out of just riding on the converter the whole time. Yeah. So once I figured all that part out, it was much, much better. And the only time it really was a problem was when we ended up on the highways. Yeah, just running at that long a time. So it's something I have to change. The transcool has been in the same spot since the car's together, and I've never had an issue before. But now with this way looser converter, it's a major problem now that I have to figure out. I got to get it in the front end somewhere, but there's no room in that front end anymore.
Jim, help us. What's a recommendation?
Ditch the 400 and get an 80 in there. Man, 2 years ago on the circuit in Branson, I saw some 240, 260 trans temps with my 400, and that was it for me. I built an 80 for this thing. I did the entirety of Michigan and never saw over 180 degrees. Same thing on 666. The 4L80 made the car.
That 4L80 for the horsepower I'm shooting for is big money.
Yeah.
Maybe go gear vendor overdrive. I mean, because
the gear vendor still doesn't lock the converter up, and for me, that's where the heat's usually at.
Yeah, 100%.
Making the kind of power I'm sure you're making, that's you're going to need a lot more hard parts for sure.
Yeah. I think it's going to get a 40-row like set rab cooler, and I might just stick it right in that big opening I cut open with Eric's trim ring and just let it block the intercooler, because going down, there it is, just block that whole thing with the trans cooler, because the intercooler is much happier now with the bumper cut open. I think, granted, I did not make a full quarter-mile pass, but it was, we would start a pass at like 126, and it would see 24 pounds of boost in that first gear, and it would only go to like 132 temp. So
Wow.
it's greatly improved over where it was a month ago.
You might can share a little bit of that airflow with a big tranny cooler up there and help a bunch.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen now. But I got to worry about the cam sync issues first. Well, crank sync. It's not cam. We figured that out.
Yeah, gotta run before you can overheat the trans, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well. So I'm actually working with Bob Eat right now. I have his fuel drive cable set up on the car, and we're working to get a crank trigger on it now, because we believe something happened to the reluctor wheel when we had the engine apart 3 weeks ago. Rushing, maybe I bent it on the bench just enough at 7,000 RPMs and above. It's just wiggling just enough to lose that sync. So
Yeah,
that's the plan we're working on now for it.
that's crazy. Well, let's talk about powertrain stuff real quick. We'll talk about yours first, because we're kind of on your stuff here.
Yeah.
Lay out what it is.
So it's a stock block 5.3 LC9 Gen 4, K1 crank and rods, Summit Pro pistons, AFR heads on it, Brian Tooley valve train and cam. Nothing's high end, nothing fancy special. It's got AFR enforcers, which was their cheap line, but I just filled it with Brian Tooley's stuff. And stock bore, stock stroke. It's got Bullseye S472s on it now. V-band housings that we just upgraded to this year, because we had their 66s on it last year, which we were 32 pounds of boost, about out of steam on those things. So
yeah, 32 pounds on these compared to 32 pounds on those. That's a big difference. If
we haven't made it over 24 pounds yet, and we had, like, when we took out the first day of testing, the suspension was all wrong, because now it's got, after the chassis shop, they did all upgraded torque boxes in it, and we didn't have it lined out. We were going like 140, 60 foot, and it was a dud.
Yeah.
And we had a really, really slow ramp into it. And I think it peaked 24 pounds in third gear, and it was going 177 already. So wow. Yeah, I got back into the 120s on drag week, 60 foot. I'd like to get it back into the 110s where it was last year. And I mean, there's no reason this thing's not going mid sevens. Like, it's got the potential to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mile an hour is already there for 780s. So she's gonna make some steam once we actually get it all together.
Right. So you have this smaller cubic inch set up in twin turbos, but then we go over to Jim, and it's a different beast. What are you running?
It's just a short deck 496, small dome piston. It's got a Howard's roller in it, an older set of Canfield 360s on it. Way too much camshaft and cylinder head for what I have. It sounds like it ought to run in the low sixes, and it doesn't. But I'm having a great time with it. And then, of course, that picture is the old 400 I built for it. It's currently got an 80 that I built in it with an Extreme Automatics valve body, billet input, mostly stock beyond that. And then I think that last picture is me in the floor cutting the 8.8 down. I didn't really cut it down. I cut it down to fit wheels I had, actually. That's backwards of most people, but operating on the old tight budget there. So I cut the rear down to fit the wheels I have. It's a 31 spline 8.8, has 370s in it right now. Got a Circle D converter, just a 10-inch Circle D single disc lockup converter. Man, it makes that thing so nice to drive on the road. I can run that thing with fender exits and, at 85, 90 mile an hour, just cruising.
That's awesome.
That's that big block's in it now. Worked out a deal with Robert Voss to buy his motor out of his car. So almost got that deal wrapped up. So we're going to try to go a fair bit faster next year, throwing another 100 cubic inches at it. And so it'll be a 588. and I'm going to try to get it on Holly this winter. I'm still a carburetor guy, man. Dominator's where it's at. That thing's just an animal. I swapped the Dominator on it from a 4150 in a hotel parking lot in Tulsa on 666, and popular opinion is Dominators are not street carbs. That's a bunch of BS, man. That thing idles at 950 now. It's so much nicer to drive, So
That's
but
interesting, dude.
I'm gonna try and get it on Holly this winter. So
The
And
Lord
since then you-
ECU.
Yeah, right. The Lord's ECU. Yeah,
the Lord's ECU, yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's pretty awesome. So, what's the best you've been in the car? And how many miles have you
The best
driven
I've
it?
done in that car, based on a draggy, is a 688 in the eighth. 101, 102, or something like that. It's like I said, it's just way overheaded and cammed, but those were the parts I had when I put it together. So
Yeah. And then how many miles have you driven on that thing? Because you did 66, and now you've done the driving
so
machine miles and back.
3,700 in Michigan, a little over 3,000 on 66. Man, I don't know. I'm probably nearing 8,000 or 9,000 miles on it, maybe a little more between a couple years worth of the circuit. And then I drive it a lot more now. It's it just used to sit in the yard till I started dragging driving. Now I'm like, let's take this thing to dinner or something.
Yes.
You got to use your car. You got to use your car. We went to a concert in Oklahoma City last night, and I was like trying to think of a reason to take the race car.
That's cool, man.
We didn't take the race car, but we did stop and have Waffle House on the way home.
Well, hey, there you go. You got to support them, man. Got to support them. Well,
Got to take care of them.
Right before we wrap up, let's talk. Roadside repairs. What's one or two roadside repairs you guys have had to complete?
What do you got, Eric?
I didn't have any. I didn't get stuck on the side of the road this year. Everything was fixed in the hotel parking lot. I got pretty lucky. The only thing that came up was a trailer tire on Mark's trailer, but every night in the hotel we were slinging cam sensors. We found split spark plug wires. I had to buy overpriced Fuel Tech smart coil because that died, but every night I got lucky. We worked on it every night in the hotel parking lots, but we didn't have any roadside, thank God, because some of those roads,
Dude.
I mean, I don't know how you would work on the side of the road on those hills in Pennsylvania
No,
like that.
no, you'd have been in trouble. We came up on Robert and David Williams the first night when they thought they had blown the motor up, and they were on the hill, like the steepest part of the hill, trailer behind. They're like, we don't know what to do, man.
It's
they were
so
trying
tight.
to unhook the trailer and hook it to somebody else, and it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, some of them roads, and like I felt bad for Ed when we left Maple Grove. He stayed to make another pass, and he had to drive in the rain at night in those roads. And I'm like, it was tough enough just during the day in the rain. I couldn't imagine at night.
Yeah. Jim?
I've been real fortunate. We haven't had really any just massive roadside breakdowns, anything like that. We've done some tire clearancing with a hammer and a saw in a hotel parking lot. Most of my roadside stuff has been the deadgum trailer. I just, between 66 and then those roads around Detroit, I beat my little trailer to death. It's just a little factory built 4x6, but like I said, I put several sets of springs, or broke several springs in it so far, and bent an axle. And I mean, most of that's my fault. I end up taking way too much stuff because I don't want to be on the side of the road. But we've helped some folks with some parts and tools and stuff, and that's but nothing major breakdown so far. Of course, like I said, I'm pretty slow and don't really lean on anything hard yet. We're going to change that next year, I hope, with this big inch deal. So I'll probably have some good stories then, but I carry tranny parts. I carry basically everything, but rods and a block and a head, to fix the motor. And I haven't had to pull any of that stuff out yet, but all of that is probably the reason I keep tearing the trailer up. So I got to find that balance. I'm 3-4 years in and still taking way more junk than I need, but it is what it is.
Well, when you're that far from the house, man, it's tough,
Hey, when we went on 66, I had just finished that 80 swap. Hadn't even ever drove it. I ran it on the lift and confirmed it had 4 gears. And we took off, but I took my 400, the driveline, the converter, and the cross member with me that entire trip, just in case.
No.
And that
Dude, that's
you open
awesome.
that trailer and people are like, Jesus, man, what did you not? Is there anything you didn't bring? I'm like, well, not really. So I brought it all. But fortunately, a big believer that if you take it, most of the time you don't need it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I've been so lucky, because I just take way too much stuff.
That's crazy. All right, last question. I promise, and we'll let you guys go. Let's talk about camping and hotels. What do you guys do?
We do the
Great.
hotels. I love camping. It's a big thing in my life, but give me a hot shower and air conditioning after a day of driving this. And then give me friends in a parking lot with some beers or bourbon preferably. But no, it's hotel for me when it comes to this stuff.
That's awesome.
We typically hotel it. Like I said, I'm definitely the guy that needs a shower once a day. But what we did? We camped on the circuit last year, and man, it was hot. It was hot, but it was still a good time. And we talked about camping on Smokies coming up, in 2 weeks. And between the three of us, we just have to take so much stuff to camp and be able to stay at the racetracks and make a meal or whatever. It just made more sense. And we split a hotel room, so it works out. But I definitely want to do another 1 or 2 camping. Wanted to camp in Michigan, but taking my dad, I didn't know how he'd deal with it, and I want to make sure he was comfortable. So
Yeah.
but I'm going to try to camp more, because the parking lot beers at the hotel are great, but man, you get 8 or 10 guys at the track, 8 or 10 groups, and you have a great time too, and make some real good friends real quick that way.
Yeah. Well, and one of the biggest benefits of camping is you get the first parking spot you want. You know what I mean?
Hey, but you also get rained on if it rains.
Oh yeah.
You get to sleep with the mosquitoes, which that's whatever.
Give me the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big AC guy too.
Yep. I want to turn that thing down to about 62 at night.
As low as it'll go.
Yeah. Freeze my ass off. Get up the next week. It's going to be a day. Well, y'all listen. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Morning. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch for doing this.
It was a good time. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys.
All right, we're going to kick you guys off and close the show. Y'all, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a good one.
See you guys.
Have a good day.
How fun, dude. We need to do more guests, man. Maybe one guest on news.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just too much fun. There's so many stories that are out there from the drag and draft community. It's just really fun to hear and see and do all that kind of cool stuff. Just want to say thanks again to Howard's Cams for their support here for the community segment of the Drag Drive Repeat News. All right, dude. Let's wrap this thing up with some found racing junk, and then we'll let everybody get to their day.
All right, yeah, we've got about 10 minutes here, so let me see if I can get this pulled up.
Yeah, which y'all don't know, Derek should be working right now on the house. He should have been gone 20 minutes ago. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, let's go with this one. All right. We love our Novas around here. So when I saw this one, definitely had to show this. 40,000. This one is in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So when I first saw it, I thought maybe it was a car that we've seen on an event before, but I don't think it is.
I don't remember that color.
So kind of scroll through the pictures here a little bit. It is a 73 Nova all steel. less hood and front bumper, pro-built chromoly chassis, 10.5 Outlaw, drag and street car, runs 502 at 142. Must be an 8th mile pass there, obviously. A bunch of parts here: 4-link suspension, strange strut front suspension, strange axles, AFCO, double adjustable rear shocks.
Mm-hmm.
So not too bad right here.
Yeah, that's a nice car. 40 grand. And then Council Bluffs, that's close enough for Buckeye Skips.
Yep.
Just grab that thing and head on over and race that event.
Yep. And then the other one that I found, this one was pretty sweet. 1930 Ford Model A pickup, 24,000. This one's in Billings, Montana. So you know what is also in Billings, Montana?
Yeah. Big Sky Race Week.
Yep, Big Sky Race Week. So when I saw this one, I was like, yep, this might pique some people's interest. And it just looks right.
Yeah, it sits perfect.
I don't know about the exhaust going up like that.
Yeah, I would maybe chop that and just turn it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
hey,
So beautiful color. Man, look how narrow that looks inside.
Dude.
Like it'd be uncomfortable for 2 people.
Me and you aren't spending a whole bunch of time in there.
No, definitely not.
Gonna have to be nice because half my body's gonna need to be out that window.
But it is definitely a pretty cool looking truck here.
Yeah, I like the rear fender setup on that. I didn't notice that in the other shot, but looks like it's got like some square body style rear fenders on it.
Yeah, almost like
Get us back to like a front shot or something. That's very interesting. And for 24 grand, man, it's probably a pretty good deal.
Oh, check that out. The tailgate opens sideways.
I like it.
But yeah, it was this one's definitely pretty cool. Like the wood box up there for the stereo and speakers. Simple. But yeah, those
seat looks tiny.
Right.
It's probably not, but dude, it looks so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of really nice parts, and big shout out to Racing. Yeah, look at the fender there. That's interesting. They had to have cut that down or something.
Yeah.
Go over two shots there. Wow, how cool. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, pretty slick. So it's professionally built in 2012, all steel, titled 1930 body, except radiator support and rear fenders. Not a Bondo baby either. Barn door, custom tailgate, functional tilt out windshield, operated vent from the 30s, tilt wheel, gauges, fully functional lights, turn signals, horns, all the things that you need for a drag and drive vehicle. 100% custom built frame. But yeah, you can see all kinds of stuff here. It's a 355 cubic inch small block Chevy engine.
Yeah, dude, it's a set of 15s on the front and 20s on the back.
Yeah.
305, 35, 20. Man, that's a big old tire on the back.
Yep. It's a TH350 trans. It's NHRA, IHRA legal, but never race. We need to fix that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Somebody buy this thing, 25 grand, man. That's pretty cool. That's a good deal.
58 inches tall, 172 inches overall, 120 inch wheelbase, 65 inches wide. So
yeah, that's tiny. That is tiny. Cool.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. That'd be a fun little street car that somebody around Billings, Montana can drive around, and when Big Sky comes around, you can take that out and join Big Sky Race Week with it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, sweet. Well, dude, great show this morning. I want to say thanks to everybody for being here. We appreciate you guys a bunch, and thanks for hanging out. Appreciate all the comments. Thanks to Jim and Rich both for coming on this morning. It was last minute. It was last night. I was like, man, I just want some guests on to talk through some stories this morning. So thanks for them for coming on. Thanks to everybody for all the comments today and all that kind of cool stuff. And then again, thank you so much to our sponsors for making all this possible. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, PowerTube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. All right, guys, we'll see you Wednesday night.
All right. See you guys.
Later.